So today we'll see that how we can convert the data that is an unstacked form in Excel into a very refined form using pivot tables in Excel. So here we have some employee names and their sections and their sales. It's a very simplified data, and this data now we'll convert this into a pivot table. Now the employee names with their sections and sales, we should select this entire data and then go to Insert tab, click on Pivot Table from Table Range and click. As the table range has already been selected, you can create it into a new worksheet. Click on the new worksheet and click OK. After doing this, a new sheet has been created with fields as well as the pivot table area. On the left side is the pivot table area, and on the right side here you have pivot table fields. Now in these fields, bring the section and drag it into rows, and bring the sales and drag it into values. Now you can see on the left side where the pivot table area is located, the row and their sales have been displayed. Now click on employee name and bring it to rows. Now the data has been revised with the employee names and their sections, and the sum of their sales is also being displayed. Now this was how we can convert a simple data into a pivot table. Now moving on, we'll see how we can convert a complex data and play around with the pivot table with it. With the same way, we will select the whole data. We have correspondent names, their sections, availability, number of guests they'll be bringing, and either they'll be participating in day 1 or day 2, or they'll not be participating. So to do this, we'll again select the whole data, go to Insert, and click on Pivot Table, and from Table to Range. Same method is applied. Table range has already been selected, so we either will bring it on the new worksheet or existing worksheet. Usually we do it on the new worksheet, so we'll click on the new worksheet and click on OK. After doing that, we'll again have a new sheet created with all the pivot table sections. We'll rename this sheet as pivot. Now what we are going to do is we'll go to the sections, click on sections, and bring it to rows. You see the hope and light section has been created. Now we'll select number of guests and bring it to values. Now the hope and light sections and the number of guests have been displayed. Now this is quite simple, but now we are going into more complexity. We'll add more things into it. The next thing we are going to add is we'll add the participation in column. Now, as you can see, day 1 and day 2 have their values, but there is some blank column as well of the people who were not participating. We'll go to column labels, select the drag down, and uncheck the blank over here to filter blanks out so that our data looks more precise. Now you can see the grand totals with day 1 and day 2 are being displayed. Now we are going to add the correspondent names in rows. Now what this will do is it will bring in all the people with their names and their participations with their number of guests in the pivot table as well. So you see how a complex data is being refined now in a very beautiful form. So to refine it further, we'll go to Design tab, we'll go to Subtotals and click Do Not Show Subtotals. Now all our subtotals have been removed. And to refine it further, we'll go to Report Layout and click on Show in Tabular Form. Now all our data has been displayed in a very refined tabular form. To refine it further again, we'll go to Pivot Table Analyze and click on Options and click on Options again. A dialog box will appear and uncheck Auto Fit Column Widths and Update, click OK. Now if we adjust our rows and columns and refresh our data, or rows and columns width will not be disturbed again and again. Now we'll go to Design tab, click on it, go to Grand Totals and click on for columns only. Now, all the grand totals that were appearing above or day 1 and day 2 columns have been removed. So this was how we can transform our complex data into a simplified form with the help of a pivot table. Hope you liked our video. If you did, do like it as well. Do give it a like and do share it with your friends as well.